Why do white people resent Black excellence? Let's talk about it. Not all white people are racist, obviously, but there is a specific subset for whom Black excellence seems like a personal affront to them, right? It really bothers them when Black people succeed.
We need to say the truth. White people have never been clean. Not now, not ever.
Pose the question, why do white people hate Black people so much?
Black people have been literally begging this country and all of its citizens to see us wholly, to hear us fully since the beginning of time. The struggle to be seen and respected in this country is so intrinsically woven throughout the fabric of who we are.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, for a very long time, white people in America, they have been voting to punish Black people. White people, they have been voting against their own interests. These people, they have been voting for racism, but this time around, things have really changed in America. Right now, we are seeing majority of white people, they are really suffering in America. Majority of them right now, even they cannot afford basic necessity. And also, we have been seeing they have been coming out regretting for voting for this administration. And right now, we are seeing that majority of white folks, majority of white people, they are now coming out confess and they are regretting their obsession and hatred for Black. They are left confused. So you can see these people right now, they are regretting for voting to punish Black people. These people, they are now regretting for the things, for the wrongdoings that they have been doing to the Black people. So kindly guys, I want you to watch this compilation of video and see how white people, they are coming out and confess. Then I'll be back with more comment. All credits goes to the original creator of the video. I'm your host, Dash Lifestyle. Remember, this video, it is only for educational purpose.
Why aren't Black people helping Latinos riot against ICE in LA? Let's talk about it. There are three types of Black people who are sitting these protests out. Number one, the Black Trump supporter who voted for deportations. Number two, the Kamala Harris supporter who voted overwhelmingly for Kamala and then saw that Latinos overwhelmingly voted for Trump and they're like, y'all need our help now? Oh, hell no. And number three, the older Black people who are like, what are y'all up to? Oh, and there might be one other type of Black person too. The kind of Black person that hears something like this.
I don't think Black people have a right to tell white people or Hispanics what they can and cannot say. And that means if a Black person wants to use the N-word, that means a white person also can use the N-word, because all lives matter, not just Black lives matter. So with that said, we need to stop cancel culture. It is anti-American, it is anti-free speech, and if you can say the N-word, so can I, whether you like it or not. It doesn't affect your freedom, but you're sure affecting mine by telling me that I can't say it because I'm not Black. So, make the N-word great again.
Okay, well, how about we make ICE great again too, bitch? It's a little weird that not only are Latinos pressed, but white folks are asking, why aren't Black people out there protesting? Y'all usually ask, why are we protesting? It's almost as weird as this roll-off full of rocks that just so happen to be right in LA, right where the riots are, all cut off evenly, no construction around, just so happen to be there so people can start throwing them. Is that why y'all want Black people out there? So y'all can get staged video footage to roll on cable news all night long showing unity and violence against Trump? Stop trying to use us. And all I keep hearing is Blacks and browns, we got to stick together. Blacks and Latinos, we're brothers, we're one. Okay, well, I'm going to need you to have that outlook for more than just rioting and violence. I'm going to need you to have that in the job market too, because Blacks can't get a job in LA. Latinos hire Latinos, whites hire Latinos. If you don't come to LA already in a job that moved you to LA, or you own your own business, you're not working in LA. You know who's working in LA? All the people that they want us to protest to come here. So Black people, the next time you're asked why aren't you out there protesting with the Palestinians or with illegal immigrants, just let them know you put in the same amount of effort that they put in to get Black reparations.
Black people, I can't get through my For You page 3 scrolls without seeing a video about the people over in LA protesting. And if it's not a video about them protesting, it's all these different schools of thought on the protests. or videos about the relationship that's kind of, I don't want to say fractured, but a little strained between black people and I'll say brown people. And I wasn't going to say nothing because that's like a political conversation, political adjacent conversation, socio-political thing. But I'll tell you this, bro. I'll be 32 this year. I've been living in Florida off and on since 2008, and I've lived in Texas. I've lived around every kind of Hispanic you could think of. Black people, we need to get out of the habit of trying to tell other groups of people who come to this country and want to align themselves with whiteness or be in proximity to whiteness what's going to happen to them. Because the enemy is white supremacy. It does harm to everybody, white people included. But the problem is that people come here and they want to perpetuate it thinking that they can trade and buy into it, not realizing that white supremacy is exclusive. It's not inclusive. You will never be them. Doesn't matter what kind of minority you are. Doesn't matter how you try to breed your way into it. It don't matter how much money you make. You will never be them. Because to them, especially the ones who make the laws and make the money, that's all that matters. And that's not to say you got to turn around and be aligned with us. But you got to align yourself against them on every level. Not just the optics, but the ideas too. And expecting other people to come to bat for you when it's time for you to fight is crazy, especially when we see you and we see how you are. We see what you do. We see what you say. Because black folk, really, we very empathetic and sympathetic towards everybody because we don't want to see nobody go through the same shit that we done been through, bro. But everybody at every turn, every time are apathetic towards us. And we tired. So I'm saying, black people, don't tell nobody shit. Let them figure it out. Let them fight. And pray they win. Because ultimately, a win against white supremacy is still a win, no matter who won.
With everything happening today, where the achievements of black Americans are being erased and black excellence is being dismissed, it's nothing more than a DEI handout. Don't you ever forget who you are. Don't forget where you come from. Don't forget what you've had to endure and what you're still enduring just to make it halfway up the mountain, let alone reach the top. And when someone tries to throw you a bone, offering a moment of kindness in your time of need, don't let it buy your silence. Don't let it buy your conformity. Never forget the truth of this country's history, the battles fought, the sacrifices made, and the pride that runs deep in your blood. You are not here by accident. You are not a quota. You are the product of resilience, brilliance, and generations of power that tried to suppress but could never kill. Stand tall, speak loud, and forever stay woke.
Last night I went to see Sinners for the second time. I'm embarrassed that it was just the second time, but me and my sister were in line at the concession stand. We were in the members line, and two little black girls were in the regular line. Now, there were 3 registers, and it was busy, and they were open, and we would have been the next one, even though the little black girls were there, because members get to go first. Anyway, this white couple walks up, and they passed the little black girls in the regular line. And at first I was going to say something. Then I saw the white woman went really close to the counter, and she was just looking at the menu. So I didn't say anything. So I knew something was up, but I didn't say anything. So when a register was open, the guy goes, "Next guest in line." They walk up. They start talking, and I am like, "Excuse me." They keep talking. I'm like, "Excuse me." They keep talking. I said, "Excuse me. Those 2, you are not next." There were 2 little black girls there. I got loud. Because they were ignoring me. So they moved back. The white woman is clearly embarrassed. And she goes, "Well, they didn't say anything." She said it very nasty. And me and my sister quickly say, "They're children." And they were teens. So they move back, and the 2 little black girls go up. So then another register opens up, and they say, "The next guest in line." the white couple walks up again, and me and my sister both go, we were next. So then the white lady, she's clearly irritated, gestures like this, very nasty. And I just want to tell you, this is a reminder that two things here. They never see us, but they definitely don't see black children as children. Because if those were two white children, at the very least, they would have asked, are you next in line? Which clearly it was the line. So why wouldn't they be? They have the little barriers there, so you know they were in line. But they would have at least asked. But it goes to show you, they do not see us and they do not see our children. And for her to be angry at the fact that I called her out twice because you acted like you didn't see us just infuriated me. I was seething for a few minutes. It took me a few minutes to calm down, but I was not going to let them treat those two little black girls like they didn't exist. And I damn sure was not going to let them not know that I existed.
The entire history of Europe is a story of people refusing to wash their asses while looking down on everyone else. Let's start with the ancestors you worship so much. Medieval and early modern Europeans. People so filthy they were literally scared of water. They believed that bathing opened the pores and let in disease, so instead of washing, they simply wiped themselves down with dry rags and perfume. Imagine thinking water is bad for you while living in streets filled with feces and piss. Doctors warned against bathing, saying that it was too stimulating and would weaken the body. Instead, they told people to rub themselves with dry powders or just change their linens and call it a day. King Louis XIV of France, the Sun King, bathed twice in his entire life. Let that sink in. The most powerful man in Europe smelled like a rotting corpse dipped in cologne. Queen Isabella of Spain also bragged about only bathing twice in her entire life. These people ruled empires while literally festering in their own filth. You want to call other people savages? Let's talk about their hygiene habits, or lack thereof. They didn't wash their clothes. They just aired them out like letting filth touch fresh air was some kind of magical cleaning method. They slept in lice-infested beds and wore the same sweat-soaked, piss-stained clothing for weeks or months at a time. Queen Elizabeth I bragged about only changing her undergarments once a month. Her whole palace must have smelled like a backed-up sewer. Their mouths? A disaster. Europeans didn't brush their teeth. At all. By the time they were 30, their mouths were full of blackened, rotting stumps. King James I of England's breath was so bad, people would write him letters telling him how unbearable it was to be near him. Meanwhile, at the exact same time, indigenous Americans, Africans, and Asians were bathing daily, cleaning their teeth with herbs, and wearing fresh clothes. But Europeans pulled up smelling like roadkill and still had the audacity to call everyone else dirty. Let's talk about the cities you love to glorify. Paris, London, and Rome. These places were open cesspools. People threw their shit and piss into the streets because they didn't have proper sewage systems. London's Thames River was literally so full of human waste that it became toxic. In 1858, the Parliament had to shut down because of the stench, called the Great Stink, was so unbearable. Paris? Just as bad. The streets were covered with garbage, excrement, and dead animals. It was so bad that the air itself was dangerous to breathe. Meanwhile, at the exact same time, the Aztecs had running water, street cleaners, and aqueducts bringing fresh water into the city. So tell me again, who are the real savages? But let's not pretend this filth is just in the past. White people are still dirty today. You have to be convinced to wash your legs in the shower. Doctors are telling you to wash your damn feet because so many of you think that you can just let the water trickle down and that's enough. The 2020s exposed how many white celebrities don't bathe daily. Ashton Kutcher, Kristen Bell, Jake Gyllenhaal, all proudly claiming they don't shower unless they see dirt. White parents are still proudly saying that they only bathe their kids when they start to smell. Imagine raising the next generation of walking biohazards. You normalized wearing outside clothes to bed, spreading whatever germs you caught from the outside world directly onto your sheets. You go to bed without washing your hands, your face, or brushing your teeth, and wonder why your skin looks like a medieval battlefield. Meanwhile, Black, Latino, Asian, and indigenous cultures have always prioritized hygiene. Africans were using shea butters, scented oils, and natural soaps before Europeans even knew what soap was. Indigenous Americans bathed in rivers daily using herbal cleansers. South Asian and Middle Eastern cultures developed some of the earliest bathhouses, perfumes, and skincare regimens. Latinos are known for showering twice a day and keeping their homes spotless. And yet, white people still have the nerve to act like they invented civilization. The reality? You have never been clean. Your ancestors weren't clean. Your great-grandparents weren't clean. Your hygiene habits, questionable at best. Cope.
Oh, I do think that white people are absolutely jealous of black people, specifically with the community, and also with like fashion and music and everything else that is appropriated. But by design of what whiteness is, it inherently lacks community. And I think we're absolutely jealous of that. And I've heard biracial people say that they do see that difference in their own families. Because in addition to European cultures being more individualistic than cultures from Africa, South America, and indigenous North American cultures, the invention of whiteness in America erased a lot of ties to actual culture. So when I say like white people, black community, I'm not talking about like Polish people or German people or Irish people. As I explain in my book, I just wrote the intro and I'm working on the conclusion today. Y'all keep me in your prayers. In the course of human history, white is a relatively new term. As we discussed in the introduction to this book, white is a North American term emerging from the 1600s as a term to justify the enslavement of Africans and squelch revolts from poor Europeans and indentured servants. Before this term, Europeans would identify with their nationalities. The Irish, Italians, Germans, French are all very different cultures. Thus, there is not the same communal tie to whiteness as there is for people from other communities. Further, since white was created to be a divider, a separator, it is not a happy identity. It is not something people want to admit they relate to. It doesn't have a rich, healthy history. Speaking as a white American who has conducted national level research on white Americans, we tend to say things like we have German, Irish, Italian, etc. ancestry, even if we have never been to those places. This is because all white Americans have ties to immigration, and because these identities are actual cultures, they do not have roots only in oppression. Now, we know who started colonization, right? So this is the book I'm trying to finish by Monday and send to the editor. There's a free chapter in my bio if you're interested on one of the unwritten rules of work. The book is predominantly about class, but I talk about 3 other identities that you can't talk about class without talking about these other identities, and race is absolutely one.
What up, Nurse Gang? What up, TikTok? So this needs to be said. Just want to come through the quick word really quick now. Disclaimer. If you don't like what a creator is posting on their platform, unfollow. But you guys have this, you want to argue with people and go back and forth with them on their page. It's insanity to me because I just block you. I've learned how to protect my peace a long time ago. I'm not going back and forth with nobody on my own page. You can go to your own page and talk about whatever you like. It's free for all of us. So that's there. So I posted the video of, the immigration thing that happened today. And I guess me saying that nurses should not try to obstruct justice and end up getting arrested trying to interfere with ICE, a process that you cannot stop. The government has decided they got 179 billion to deport people. This is a process you can't stop, and you should not interfere. And 5 seconds of interfering, they still arrest the person. You get arrested as well. Your career in life is ruined for what? A process you couldn't stop. So people are upset about that. But whatever. People want to be outraged about immigration because it's a moment in time and this was being shoved down their throat on social media. But people had the audacity to come to my Instagram and say, oh, but when it was Black Lives Matter, you guys wanted us to stand with you. I'm going to need y'all to stop using that because I'm going to tell you something right now. Black people are the most oppressed people in this country, and we have been for years. This fear that the immigrants are living in of going outside. Imagine being a black woman in America and what comes across your screen, thousands of black women missing and no one's investigating it. Imagine being a black woman in America and you wake up in the middle of the night and across the screen is Breonna Taylor's face. She got shot in her sleep, right? And the cops. dilly-dally and get off. Oh, Sandra Bland choked to death in her jail cell, right? Seeing things like Trayvon Martin and you're scared, young man shot.
Immigrants, there are going to be the next group that are going to be the majority in this country, and they're trying to stop that. This is what, and Donald Trump understands this. He understands. So all of you immigrants who believe that that black people can be in some kind of way deported, you need to read the Constitution. You have to understand that black and YT people will not be deported in this country. There are some Native Americans being deported. Did you know that? There are some Native Americans that are being deported before us. Because they're not in the Constitution. They're not in the Constitution. We are the only people that they cannot touch like this. And y'all fail to understand this. And now I understand why there's so much hurt and so much pain and so much divide, so much angry people when it comes to when I see.
Pose the question, why do white people hate black people so much? I have been in situations where I've been surrounded by nothing but white people. And this conversation has come up. The race conversation has come up. And no one ever has an actual reason as to why they hate black people. There's always these, oh, black on black crime. Oh, they're lazy. Oh, they're this. But it's not actually, there's no legitimacy behind their reasoning. It's just shit that they've heard and they're regurgitating. And so, long story short, it really comes down to there is no reason. It's a deep-seated jealousy, a deep-seated hate that, you know, black people exude greatness. Black people are the great inventors. Black people are the beginning of the human race, the Eve gene. And white people have worked so hard to erase the history and erase the greatness of the black race. Down to even when things are invented, the majority of things that are invented were invented by a black person. But yet the white race has actually erased the original inventor from history and have put their names on things that they had no business putting their names on.
The Montgomery Brawl has created some interesting, let's say, case studies for white people who believe they are allies to the black community. It seems to be that watching black people not only push back against violence, but also give the warning, if you come for one of us, you come for all of us, it has some white people thrown off by not being centered in their work or how they've shown up for black people. Case in point, this comment. I was raised anti-gay, anti-black, and I am now neither of those. I am not sugarcoating, but don't make this a B versus W issue. Don't push away allies. So speaking directly to this commenter, I'm sure that you did not expect to receive this next piece of information from a stranger, but since you have found yourself here, I am more than happy to give you some information. You still have some anti-blackness in you. You still have some anti-blackness in you when a black woman tells you to not sugarcoat an experience that black people experience, one that you will not experience because you are not black. I said don't sugarcoat that. And you were met with, you're not sugarcoating anything. You had to make sure that I knew how you were raised, and then also tell me not to make it a black versus white issue when everybody saw what it was. And then to follow it up with saying don't push away allies. This comment and the rest of your comments are a shining example as to why ally is not a self-appointed term. You do not get to decide that you are fully supporting a group in the way that they need it and the way that centers them and the way that uplifts them. That is not something that you get to decide. The group that you say you're doing that for is the one that has to recognize that you're doing that. And if there's a threat or a warning about allies being pushed away, if that's what you're saying, that lets me know that the work that you think that you're doing as a former anti-black and anti-gay person, the work
Man, what's going on TikTok? How y'all doing? Hope y'all having a wonderful day. But check this out. Man, I noticed something with this deportation thing. I just couldn't figure it out. I said it in my video, but I just never thought about it. These people keep saying we're going to get deported, we're going to get deported, we're going to get deported. They projecting because we the only people that didn't immigrate here. We didn't migrate here. We not refugees to come over here. We not in the immigration system. We didn't have to pledge allegiance and denounce another country just to live here. We didn't do none of that. We not anchor babies. Our parents didn't come over here, didn't had us here. None of that. But they have. They have. And they hate that. They jealous of that. They jealous of that. Because number one, they thought they were going to be our replacement. They were working on it. I ain't gonna lie, they were working real hard to be our replacement. Then number two, they came over here to colonize us. But when they found out that Trump made it a way where we are emancipated people, we are children of slaves, we can't be deported. They hate that and that bothers them. That jealousy and envy bothers them because they already come over here with jealousy. They already come over here with envy. But now they see we can't go nowhere. Now they want us to be scared with them. They want us to be scared of if we see an unmarked car drive past our house. They want our heart to be beating fast. You know what I mean? When we go to restaurants and we see ICE come take somebody, they want us to be scared with them. And we just out here popping fans. You know what I'm saying? Well, them fans, and we just popping fans, having fun, enjoying life, talking, trying to get our money right, trying to see what's going to happen in the future. We ain't even thinking about ICE. We're not even thinking about being deported like they is. They want us to be scared like them. They want us to be worried like them. You get what I'm saying? That, and I'm like, damn, bro, like they really are jealous of us. Not just the Africans and Caribbeans, the Mexicans are jealous of us. Because they mad because they not part of the 14th Amendment. They not. There's a lot of white people not part of the 14th Amendment either. They jealous of that, bro. We can trace our family to the 1700s. Some people can go far back than.
If you think about how much it's affected the Black culture, from our music to artists like Nina Simone, all the way to Ice Cube, Public Enemy, Tupac, Kendrick Lamar, Curtis Mayfield, have spoken about our struggle and seeing us. Our books, we have authors like Zora Neale Hurston, Langston Hughes, Alex Haley, Toni Morrison, Alice Walker, Michael Harriot, Ta-Nehisi Coates now. Our television shows, there's not a television show that doesn't have classic scenes in it, whether it be from The Cosby Show to Sanford and Son, that talks about our struggle. Our academicians, our preachers from Martin Luther King Jr. to Jesse Jackson to Jeremiah Wright to Eric Dyson. We have marched, we have written, we have sung, we have boycotted, we have had freedom rides, we have had civil disobedience, yes, we have gone silent, and we have screamed. We have died. Many of us have died just to get people to listen to our struggle and to make changes and to give us civil rights. And so I've been watching a lot of videos lately, and I hear people say, this isn't America. And it's always been our America. This has always been our America. I watched another video the other day, and there's a Latino woman crying, and she says, they're hunting us. We've always felt hunted. I've heard people complaining about what good, hardworking, decent people they are, and yet they're being defined by a very small minority who may have broken laws. It's exactly how we have felt. So we have sympathy and we have empathy, but this isn't new to us. We knew.
Why do white people resent Black excellence? Let's talk about it. Not all white people are racist, obviously, but there is a specific subset for whom black excellence seems like a personal affront to them, right? It really bothers them when black people succeed. The 13th Amendment emancipated enslaved black Americans in 1865, and then the Jim Crow laws kind of wrapped up with the passing of the Civil Rights Act in 1964. So if we do the math, that's about 61 years in which black Americans were able to strive for success in any sort of meaningful way without like the constraints of the law pulling them down. 61 years. If we compare that to white Americans who besieged a land already owned and occupied by indigenous Americans, we'll put that around 1620 when, the Mayflower came here, then that gives them about 425 years to establish success in this country. 425 versus 61. If we compare those two fundamentally very different time spans, like, how much did white Americans actually do in all of that time? If we are to compare even the poorest and most underprivileged of white America to black America generally, it is clear that white Americans are born way past the start line, right? By that I mean, by like nature of being white in American society, you do benefit from all sorts of privileges. And like, to be frank, you're not exhausted by the horrible experience of facing racism on a daily basis, right? You do have a ton of privileges. So I imagine existing in this bubble of privilege that you like totally deny. The existence of black people for whom success is like second nature, when it comes so easily and so readily, even though you've only had 61 years to achieve it, I imagine that's exhausting and frustrating. I imagine it makes people feel super, super inferior and hurts certain people's tiny, tiny little egos. And what do they blame that deep, deep psychic pain on? Well, of course, DEI and critical race theory and affirmative action. So I guess the question is, what might help those white Americans who just so strongly detest black excellence? Like, what will help you? And for that, I would suggest like a lot of therapy, like a ton of therapy. And I would also just suggest that we open the schools, right? We teach people history. Yeah, maybe? Okay, bye!
I'm in these non-toxic groups on Facebook where people live non-toxic lives and we're looking for non-toxic recommendations for the products that we use. And I made a Facebook post, this was a while back, and I was like, I'm looking for black-owned, non-toxic hair product recommendations for my entire family who has various hair types. And my post was just met with so many white women who are like, that's racist. Why are you looking for black owned? I'm telling you, this post got endless comments full of hatred. Like, it just kept coming and coming and coming. We support black businesses to get rid of the racial wealth gap. Like, it's seriously the least that you can do. It's the easiest thing that you can do. So I was like talking with these people in the comments and they're coming at me and they're attacking me. And it brought out a side of me that I'm not proud of. I called them what they were. And basically my entire post got taken down. And so I didn't get any answers. But if this isn't a really good example of how white people don't want black people to succeed, I don't know what is. And so if you have any good recommendations for non-toxic products in general that are black owned, I would love for you to drop them in the comments, because I did get a couple of answers, but the post got taken down so suddenly that I couldn't write them down. And then some that we found that we ended up trying just didn't work out the way that we hoped. We have hair types ranging from 4A to C and hair like mine. But I'm always looking for black owned businesses that I can support in general, and products that are non-toxic are a big plus.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how majority of white folks, they have now come out and start regretting for the wrongdoings that they have been doing towards black people. You know, for a very long time, we've been seeing white people that have been coming out voting against their own interests. These people that have been voting for racism. These people that have been voting just to punish black people and the people of the color. But this time round, God came through for black people. So God decided to put DJT in office so that he can use DJT to punish white folks, because this majority of white people, they went ahead and vote for DJT, knowing that Donald Trump policy will not affect them, will not affect white people, but will affect the black people and immigrant people and the people of the color. So majority of them, they went ahead and vote against racism. They went ahead and vote for deportation. They went ahead and vote just to punish black people and people of the color. But God came through and for the people of the color and black people and also immigrant people, because right now we are seeing Also, DJT policy, it is not only affecting the black people, it is also affecting these white folks. Majority of them right now, they are really suffering. Majority of them, they cannot even afford basic necessity. And majority of them right now, they are having rude awakening. Majority of them, they are waking up and realizing that the things that they've been doing towards black people, it was a bad thing, and right now they are coming out confessing the wrongdoings that they have been doing towards black people. But for me, I think these people right now, they are really now coming out and confess, because the same punishment they voted to punish black people, it is also punishing them. If these people, they will not going through all these problems and the challenges that they are facing right now, these people, they won't come out and confess whatever the wrong things they have been doing. So right now they are coming out confessing, telling black people to forgive them, so that black people can help them with the challenges and the struggle they are going right now in America. So I want to read some of the comment here and see what black people they've come out and say in the comment section, simply because these people right now, they want help from black people. But black people, they try to warn these people not to vote in for racism, not to vote in against your own interest. Don't vote to punish black people. Black people, they warn them, and also they warn them that Donald Trump policy will not only affect black people, but will affect all people in America. But these people, they didn't listen. They thought that the Donald Trump policy will only affect black people, and black people, they are right now, during the campaign season, they thought that black people, they are now fighting the policy will not affect them. But right now we are seeing that the policy that these people, they voted to punish black people, it is also punishing them. So kindly guys, I want to read some of the comment here and see what majority of people they have come out and say in the comment section. So this one is saying that we need to build our own jobs and hire our own. So this one is a black woman. She's saying that as black people, we need to build our own jobs. Exactly. And also we need to hire our own. Right now it is the right time for us black people to build our country, especially in Africa. We need to build our African country, and also we need to create our own jobs, because we cannot highly depending to these white jobs. No, we don't right now want these white jobs, because right now also their country, it is falling. America, it is falling. So it is now the right time for black people to start developing their own country. This one is saying that black people, don't let what anyone say about you kill your joy. Black people, continue to be happy. This one is saying that I am 52 years old and I can see the shit in America. I can feel it when I go to work. We are taking our place back and we don't need none of them. Include with us. We are doing good by ourselves. Our regionless hard to choose but to stand out, because we are the children of God. This one is saying that separation is protection. This one is saying that we have been making $1 out of 15 cents all our lives. Exactly. You know, right now these people, they are having more problems, and also they are really struggling in this hard economy. But right now these people also, they are furious, because they are now saying that black people, they are not complaining. Black people, they are now saying that black people, they are thriving. Instead of black people complaining, black people, they are becoming more successful in this hard economy. That it is one of the things also these people, they are not happy about black people right now in America. So this one is saying that racism has always been expensive. I must say, look how they are left in shock that it has failed on them. Exactly. So right now these people, they are realizing that racism, indeed, it is very expensive. This was saying that black people repent, pray and be still and move when God tells you to move. This one is saying that we are gaining power and they can sense it. Exactly. Right now black people, they are gaining power. So this one is saying that we need to stay in our own lane from now on. Left them fight their own battle. Black people stick together. Without us there would be know them exactly. So without black people, I don't think if we'll be having the white folks. Yeah, because these people, they came through as black people. And also you can see black people, they are the real Jewish. So this was saying that only an abuser worries about another rising to their level. Pick on someone you or your own size. They are afraid of that. This one saying that right now we watching the country fall. Once the fall is completely, we black folks will rejoice. Yeah. So this one saying that I can definitely vouch for the young lady who stated that black can't get a job in LA because I couldn't get one, and I was definitely qualified. The Latinos only hired their own people, and the whites hired their white hired others. White and Latinos, I never respond to negative people. So you can see in LA, black people, they are not being employed. So this one saying that imagine being a black man as a target and you are denied housing while they steal your influence with your name on it through a racist system. This was saying that the black community has preserved for the longest. Give us a break. Exactly. So they need to give also black people a break. This was saying that jealousy always attack black people. Now your greatness and don't waste time arguing with these people over foolishness. This one saying that never say never with the monster in office. This one is saying that I am indigenous. I am watching from the side eating my popcorn while America deteriorating. Yeah, the most high is in control. Alone, stay away from the health the hindered are killing each other. So this one is written with another language. That's why I'm trying to read it. This was saying that the road of lies turn into a freeway of liars, but the truth ends that street with a U-turn that crash into themselves. So this one is saying that black people need to respect themselves first and focus on their own development. First, don't show sympathy and empathy towards others than your own people. Play the game with the same rules as the others. Start to do this. Now it's your time. Now rise and become a dominant force like you should. Black power. Exactly. So right now it is the time for us black people to come together to support each other and also develop our country. So kindly guys, you can share also your thoughts on the comment section. I'll be reading it in my next video. Thanks so much guys. Subscribe, like, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye guys.